TV, Free Cup Studio Live. 2021 GSL Super Tournament.
Welcome back, everybody. We're getting ready for the finals here. Before we get into that, we have an interview with our two winners. Maru going up against Rogue, going to be an exciting match. Let's hear what they have to say.
So Rogue, Maru has made it to the finals of this Super Tournament. And Maru, in the past, defeated you, Rogue, with an overwhelming power. And today, you showed strong prowess against Cure today to make your way here to the finals. So how do you regard Maru as a player? Well, Maru has been in the same team as me in the past. In online, he's a phenomenal player. But I feel like in the offline match, I'm the better one. So today, I think I have the confidence to beat him. Wow. Great boast of confidence there, Rogue. Maru in Season 1, you lost Rogue in a best of 7. And in the recent online match, you were able to beat him in the online tournament. But Rogue just provoked you by saying that you're only good at online matches. What do you think? Well, I don't really care about his statement. I'm just gonna play as usual. Maru just playing as usual, just playing consistently. But Maru, in the match just before, when he was playing as Cure, he defeated Cure 3-0 without yielding a single loss. So what do you think about that? Well, as I always say, Rogue is the best Zerg, I think. But still, I think I'm gonna beat him. And right now he's my opponent, so I'm a little bit scared, to be honest. So Rogue, Maru just said he's scared of you. But you know, I lost to Maru so much recently, so I'm equally scared as well. In the online tournament, in the season finals, that time you lost to Maru, it was an online match, but today you're playing on offline stage, so what's gonna be different? Well, in an offline match, Maru's definitely gonna be nervous facing me. So I'm gonna use that to my advantage and defeat him. So Rogue, you're saying that online matches, Maru does not make mistakes, but in offline stage, he's gonna make mistakes. Are you saying that? That's right, that's what I'm thinking. So Maru, Rogue has just disrespected you by saying that you're not as good in offline matches. Well, as long as I don't make mistakes, I don't think I'm gonna lose. But you know, offline matches, they tend to have variables, so I'm not really sure of the outcome yet. So Maru ahead of the finals. What do you want to say to Rogue? We meet each other too frequently. I'm really tired of this. And from now on, I hope we don't meet each other. Then Rogue, anything you want to say to Maru before the match? Well, I feel like I'm the challenger here. And it's always fun to play against Maru in the later stage of the tournament. I think I'm gonna be able to show everything I have today against Maru. And we're gonna kick off the final match. Alright, let's kick it off.
The final match of GSL 2021 is upon us, and it has the most dominant Zerg and dominant Terran ever. Rogue versus Maru.
This is going to be absolutely wild. I can see this going all the way to Game 7. I can see either playing winning. Maru and Rogue, they're showing extreme excellence in ZBT these days. Both of them said they're scared of each other in the interview. They also both said they're confident.
Yeah. Kind of all over the place with that. But, well, they both should be scared and they both should be confident, I guess, when you really think about it. Because it's like the two strongest things that we can have fight each other.
Right. I mean, Maru said in his interview that he doesn't really want to keep playing Rogue late in these tournaments, but honestly, I don't think these two are going anywhere. I think they got a long history ahead of them left. They're the top players.
Yeah, it is certainly true. Now, they both showed some pretty dominating performance in that last round, and we don't know what they're going to actually bring out against each other. This is going to be a best of 7, so we're really going to get to the bottom of who is on top of their game here today. Who are you favoring from what you've seen?
I think that right now I give Maru a slight edge. The style that worked so well for Rogue in the previous match, I feel like Maru has the exact play style that can contest with that. He's so strong in the mid game. I feel like if anyone's going to stop Rogue from snowballing into an overwhelmingly dominant position on any map, it's going to be Maru.
Okay, yeah, you're certainly right about that because, I mean, he is the best Terran, so that makes sense. But at the same time, this is Rogue, so I think he's just going to 4-1 Maru, and we're going to be like, what?
His preparation is so good.
He's ridiculous.
Fantastic at preparing for pretty much every matchup. He knows his opponents so well. He brings so much to the table. And in the best of 7, a lot of it comes down to really your game planning, how you're going to approach every single map. Here we see the map list. Berlingrad will be map number 1, followed by Blackburn, 2,000 Atmospheres, Curious Minds, Hardwire, Glittering Ashes, and then Pride of Altaris. Of course, the last one.
We're never going to make it. We're never going to make it. Something's going to happen. It's a 4-2.
4-2. 4-2, 4-1.
All right. This is going to be fantastic, guys. Get out there. Spread the word. This is our last GSL match of this year. And I think it'll be a good one regardless, right? Like, I mean, these two know each other so well, and they're both on top of it here today. And here we go. Who is going to set the tone with a victory on map number 1?
Can see anything happening here. Best of 7, good to see so much cheese, so many macro games, so many different strategies are available for both of these guys. All right, let's get to it. Set 1 on Berlingrad. Rogue vs. Maru starts now.
Game start. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Rogue. Team NV, Maru.
Right. We get to see their absolute best now. This is, like, we don't know if they held stuff back in the last round, but we do know that they will not hold anything back here.
That's right. Both these guys, they want to win this GSL Super Tournament. Last match of the year for the GSL. A lot of money riding on the line.
And another championship. And, you know, these two, like,
another
two of the
trophy.
winningest ever. Yeah.
Another trophy for their gigantic trophy cases.
I know. I don't even know how they hold so many.
Probably have them in, like, storage somewhere. You know, like at one of those rental facilities or something.
I think that Rogue, you know, like the Game of Thrones throne, with like all the swords, I think Rogue has one of those made out of trophies at this point.
Maybe even just melt all the trophies down in one super trophy, just take to the entire house, put it in the middle of your living room. Oh my goodness, these guys, they're legends in the StarCraft 2 space. Couldn't hope for a better finals here. Nice. And as far as things are going,
yeah,
pretty straight on right now. Nice standard play from both of them. Just a Reaper opening, Reaper expand there for Maru. Rogue getting up his hatchery, going into Zergling speed and spawning pool.
You know, I'm actually, like, secretly inside, I'm really hoping we see that 100 drone just Ling Bane madness from Rogue again. Because I do want to see Maru fight that.
I think that the way that he played, the style that he showcased against Solar, that is kind of the way that you got to play to contest that. You got to almost contain the Zerg, and you got to apply pressure constantly.
Yeah. And I want to see if Maru can, you know, lose only 8,700 minerals worth of units to 20,000 minerals worth of units, and then win that. You know, just such silly numbers. But he actually ends up killing a couple drones there already. Very nice.
That is nice. Anytime you can get that kind of damage done with a Reaper early, I think I got a Ling and a drone maybe. I'm not sure what it was, but honestly, anytime you can get any kind of damage done with that Reaper, you're feeling pretty good about it. These Zerg players at the top level, they've gotten so good at deflecting this early aggression that anything you can get is fantastic.
Yeah, normally it's just damage, but Reaper continues to jump in. I mean, this is not all that impactful. It's like you slow a little tiny bit of mining, and that's about it at this point.
See a couple more drones go down to the natural. A little bit of scouting information there as well. And could be a reactor Hellions going into a fast starport here. Surprisingly, with no add-on on that barracks. So maybe maybe
quick
some
Hellion
kind of
drop going to be coming in.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
Ah.
Oh! Hellbat Marine drop maybe?
This is looking, if I'm not mistaken, like the first mass Widowmine game, where he opened up with the Hellbats more quickly and then went into the second factory. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but it's reminding me of that.
Right.
But yeah, that quick Roach Warren, obviously going to be some pretty good defense here, I would say.
There's a lot of different ways that this kind of strategy can pan out there for the Terran, but actually adding on 2 more tech labs. Curious to see if one of those is going to be on the barracks and on
The starport.
So probably drilling claws, I would think.
Yeah, maybe he
Cloak
switches
Banshee.
it. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, then, I mean, maybe he swaps after these 2 Hellions. We'll see. So it is a little bit of a Hellbat push. He has 4 Marines with this, a Reaper.
Rogue, though, he's got a lot of roaches in production. He's well equipped to deal with this, and Maru knows it. Transforms those back into Hellions. Going to see if he can get any damage done there with a drop in the main, but roaches and Zerglings ready for him. Probably going to pick up and go back home.
Can't really find anything. 3rd CC on the way, but he's already got his Banshees coming out, right? So it's not like he can take any damage. Comes in to this 3rd base and finds like a drone.
Fantastic defense here by Rogue.
Yeah. Maru's just not getting anything done so far. Okay, 2 drones total, but that's for what he's put into it.
Okay.
Not that many yet.
Getting a little bit more damage done here in the main, all the way up to 6 to 8. Kind of salvaging the situation with the next drop in the main base. Yeah, if he had only walked away with a handful of drones there for everything he threw at the natural in the 3rd, that would not be good, but
8 definitely looking better, right? He's within 3 workers of Rogue right now. Now the Banshee starts to come in, but an Overseer literally pops out as it gets there.
Banshee not being microed there either. Almost going down.
Oh, that would have been bad if he had lost that.
That would have been very bad indeed. These Hellions going to see if they can find a little more damage in the main, but there are a lot of Roaches ready to deal with them. And actually, Roach production is not letting up.
Yeah, no, he has to be going for an attack here.
Yeah, with
the amount of Roaches he's making, and he's not getting any upgrades or anything. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I was just going to say it's drop Overlords because he's getting Overlord speed. So this is going to be a Queen Roach attack. This is a very old build.
And this is going to be pretty strong against what Maru's doing, if I'm not mistaken. He's got 3 Hellions, 1 Siege Tank, and 8 Marines on the field right now. This could be deadly.
Oh my God, this is kind of crazy. You do not see stuff like this.
43 drones right now for Rogue. He's got a lot invested in this.
Roaches come up and push this back for now, but see no Queens there. The alarm should be going off.
Right, but I love that for Rogue also. He oversaturated the 3rd base with his drone count relative to the main of the natural to try and throw Maru off and make him second guess this a little bit, but now he's caught wind. Medevac sees all these units moving across the map. Bunkers are going down in the natural, but this is going to be a tough hold.
Oh my God, yeah. Okay, well, he has a lot of units in here. He's gonna have some bunkers, but they're not ready yet. Looks like we're gonna have a dive bomb on top of the Siege Tanks. Here we go. Drops out the Queens and the Roaches. Carbon bombs on top of absolutely everything. Is Roaches starting to get inside as well. Maru with the stim there, but Rogue definitely starting to overpower a bit.
Every single Siege Tank goes down. The transfusers have been immaculate. Maru trying to salvage that bunker with repairs right now. It's kind of the only thing keeping him alive, but it falls, and these numbers are just overwhelming for Rogue.
Oh my God, Rogue just has a build for every single situation. The Overlords making their way back, and as he picks off that bunker as well, Maru evacuates his natural. He's lost 34 workers. He's still not that far behind on workers right now, but here comes Rogue up into the main.
More roaches are rallying across the map to back this up as the Overlords drop in the main. That siege tank is exposed. He picks it up and drops it in the back and sieges it up to try and get some kind of defense of this situation.
Look at this, dropping Cleave as
my
well
goodness.
for better movement. Ree picks up the Queens, drops them on top of the siege tanks.
Maru barely holding on for dear life right now, but more roaches rally in. That's gonna be it, I think. Rogue with a fantastic opening here. Just reading Maru like a book. He saw Maru going for all these high-tech openers early on, and 48 SCVs going down right now. Even if Maru could somehow find a miracle way of staying alive, he's at death's door.
Yeah, just phenomenal play here. Over 50 workers going down. No army supply really left to speak of either. Maru just kind of absorbing it while he types GG. Rogue takes game number 1.
What a build.
What
a strategy coming out there by Rogue.
It was like that. He saw the Banshee come in. There was like a Hellion drop. He knows that obviously you're going to be going 3rd command center behind this. And the thing is, he already had the Roach Warren for the defense. So then he just has to make this small decision. It's like, okay, start Overlord speed. Bam. Round of roaches. I like what you said about saturating that 3rd base, trying to throw him off a little bit. Really high-level stuff coming out of Rogue and just pummels Maru.
Playing that match so smart, and a lot of what we've seen from Maru in the last match as well. He's been delaying his barracks, got a lot of high-tech units out and try and find damage. That's a really good adjustment there by Rogue. You said it yourself, this is not a strategy we see very often. Rogue is going all the way back into the deepest parts of his mind to find ways of beating Maru. All right, here we go, set 2 on Blackburn. Rogue is up 1-0. Let's get to it.
Game start. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Rogue.
Here we go.
All right.
You said we were going to see it.
Well, I mean, it's Maru. You got to do it sometimes. So on Blackburn, he's decided this is going to be the map where we go for proxy barracks play.
What a place to proxy
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
a very different location. But it's a pool first from Rogue. And this is kind of the hilarity of these two playing against each other. Oh my God, he's sending, is that a 3rd
It's a 3rd SCV. This is
so
a 3 racks proxy.
Yeah, and this is against a pool first.
I gotta give the edge here for Rogue.
Yeah.
Pool first in this situation is just, it's so...
And the barracks are so, it's such an odd position, right? Like they're, the thing is you put them outside of where you think your opponent's going to scout. If you can have your barracks right outside of wherever your opponent is going to scout, that is literally the exact best place. We'll see where the Overlords go, if he sends out anything, but like it doesn't really matter because it's a pool first.
6 slings already in production as well. He knows something is up.
Dude, if he beelines to the main,
Rogue's game sense is just phenomenal.
yeah. He's the best tournament player ever. It's crazy.
His preparation for every single match, he knows how to play every player. We're at a stage in StarCraft 2 where it's almost like the pro gamers are just hacking straight up. Like
I know,
they just,
yeah.
it's baffling. Here we go, 6 slings already on the map, and Maru, his heart has to be sinking into his chest right now.
Well, we'll see if he can make something happen by rallying out. He has 3 SCVs, he has 3 racks, so he can kind of produce, but Rogue gonna run by and go towards the main base. So it's this difficult situation where you kind of have to follow the lings, or you're gonna be repairing depots at your choke all day, which is not doable.
Especially when you don't really have the economy to support all of these, and actually even a Roach Warren going down. Rogue is not messing around with this proxy. He is looking to crush this and more.
Yeah, the Roaches, it's such a
Oh,
smart
the depot's
move.
down. I mean, it's not such a big deal. It's not like that Ling's going to kill a million SAVs, but getting all complete scouting information is always beneficial.
Yeah, he's got a very good idea of the barracks number and everything. He sees no gas.
These roaches are going to be deadly.
Yeah. It's a lot of Marines here. So, I mean, if Rogue messes up his micro or overextends or something, I could see maybe the Marines starting to dogpile on, but if he just sits here, he brings his queens to his nat ramp and just makes roaches nonstop, it seems impossible for him to call, right?
He's gonna have something like 7 roaches. I do not see him going down here, especially with a base armor like this. And I mean, Marines are good, but as long as Rogue just waits to hit critical mass, I feel like there's no way.
Yeah, and you can see how he kind of turned around there. Maru wants him to come out with like 4 roaches so that he has a chance to gun him down, but Rogue does wait for a little bit more.
I really want to see their production tab. I'm wondering what Rogue's game plan is here, because Maru, he has to lift all those barracks. He's going to send one to the natural of Rogue to try and get an idea of whether this is going to be an all-in coming, or if Rogue is going to try and drone up behind it, but we already see Ravagers being produced. Now, that doesn't mean it's an all-in. In fact, we do see 5 more drones behind.
Well, yeah, the Ravagers, I mean, they actually make it almost, in a way, less of an all-in, because the Roaches actually don't have any use against the bunkers, right? Whereas Ravagers, you can kind of, you know, squeeze a little bit more value out of them.
I was just wondering there for a moment if maybe there was an opportunity to just kind of overwhelm Maru with Roaches and Ravagers, but Rogue, he's playing it smart. He's just going to ride this eco lead. 3 Ravagers. Maru's going to have to protect that bunker if he wants to be safe, and that's probably going to be a lot of SCVs going down.
Yeah, he brings plenty down. I don't think you want to attack into that as Rogue.
Does Rogue not have an Overlord over here?
I don't see one, actually.
That takes actually quite a bit away from the potential biles.
This one's trying to go around. It's going to take a little bit.
I'll take a full minute. Those things are not fast.
But, you know, it's not like Maru has anything to put some real counterplay down against these Ravagers, and he continues to morph them. So he's going to start biling, and that's, you're losing money repairing, pulling SCVs and all that.
Opportunity cost of not mining and such.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different expenses, and Maru, he will see the 3rd hatchery there from Rogue with his floating barracks before it goes down. So he does have some idea what's going on, but these biles are going to be quite problematic as Maru tries to scramble to get his production up, and Rogue almost.
It's a good move Maru just did, and you can see Rogue pull it extra back. Like, it's worth the scan to get rid of that 100%.
Almost enough. Almost enough to one-shot. In the meantime, we do have a starport and tech lab going down for Maru, and Banshees will force this away if he's able to get to that. Actually, just going out to the siege tank. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, I'm kind of digging the siege tank here as well. Like, I think actually even a medevac would be pretty good here.
Getting the Overlord just fixes everything as well.
Yeah.
It's the end of that pressure. No more vision, no more bottles on the high ground. But Rogue right now putting him in a pretty good position to succeed. You got to be happy with the way this early game has went if you're Rogue. I mean, he is kind of getting all of his stuff uncontested right now, already having Roaches and Ravagers on the map, getting Carapace way faster than the Engineering Babe is up. 2nd Evolution Chamber as well. It's looking really good for him.
And of course, he does have that Roach speed on the way. I want to see if he's going to get a ranged attack. Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
So it looks like he is going to stay on Roach Ravager, which definitely looks like a good choice, but I think Maru can definitely intuit that that's what's going to be going on. So we should be seeing non-stop siege tank production. We'll see if he's able to kind of hold on. This is one of the maps that in their GSL final, Rogue just went Roach Ravager and just killed him. So has to be in his mind right now, somewhat at least.
This is one of those maps where that 3rd base, you can get some insane arcs with Roach Ravager.
Yeah.
One of the issues with Roach Ravager on a lot of maps as you try to fight is that there are choke points that it's hard to really get good engagements on because the Roaches and the Ravagers, they don't have that much range. But this one, yeah, it's deadly, especially with +1 Carapace. And Maru gonna get some damage done actually, picking off a Ravager and a Queen here with this drop, getting a 2nd Ravager as well. Training 1 medevac and maybe 10 Marines for that, not too bad.
Gonna get out of there now. More and more Roaches being made. That 1-1 upgrade still coming.
I am worried about Maru though. Yeah. If Rogue gets a timing before +1 weapons is up for Maru, these Marines are going to do like negative damage to these roaches.
Yeah.
Like it's almost gonna be like they're healing them. It's just
yeah, he's definitely got a pretty big window here to work with. And there's some siege tanks, and Maru's going to try to split them up and spread them a little bit. But look at that supply start to balloon a little bit here for Rogue.
still droning though, going for a Nidus.
Oh, I actually didn't expect that. I thought he was going to go for just a full frontal attack.
That's what I was thinking too.
But you know what? I guess if you're acting like you're going to and then you Nidus, that works too, right?
Mm.
+1 carapace is done, +1 range attack finishes up as well.
Immediately starting +2 carapace as well. I like that. Armor, of course, so critical with these roaches against Terran bio, particularly the Marines. Now Overseer's probably going to try and find a spot for a Nidus, but looking at the mini-map at Maru's base, he should see it going down. It should be a matter of reaction times, and I don't think... Where are you going? Not the right way? It's an illegal U-turn right there, and Maru shut it down.
Gonna go ahead and boost out of there for now. Siege tanks still being produced. A lot of Marauders starting to come out. You know, if Rogue doesn't do something relatively soon, Maru could just kind of wiggle his way back in. Like, as we approach max supply for Terran, the Roach Ravager army loses a lot of its oomph.
You're right, especially with all these siege tanks in production, and the timing that this is going to hit actually kind of nullifies the upgrade advantage that Rogue had. We talked about that large window, and he's actually just going to use the Nidus for faster reinforcements, probably to bring some queens as well. I'm not sure what the queen count is at right now. But this is actually looking surprisingly defendable from Maru. He has a lot of siege tanks. He has great SimCity here.
Yeah, and like, for instance, he'll definitely be able to force a cancel on that if he wants, right? That's not a hard one.
Kind of an awkwardly placed command center.
But you know, anything to slow him down is kind of nice as well.
Okay, he sees it.
Well, this is Rogue for you.
Hard to sneak these Niduses by the top Terran player in the world.
Right, here we go. He tries to come in. Nope, that's not going to work out.
This is going to get punished quite hard. A lot of Ravagers going down there, and this Fireball with even upgrades and a lot of Marauders, it can actually contest this. And I mean, Rogue knows it too. He's starting to mix in Hydras. He's going up to Hive. He's getting a Lurker Den. He knows this isn't quite going to work.
What happened with these? What's the story of these?
I would imagine that maybe he like shift added to his army when he was like producing or something. It just, I don't know.
Well, anyways, they're gonna go ahead and just go mine. A big medevac drop headed towards, I think, the main base right now. The Lurker Den is about to finish.
Oh wow, there's nothing protecting this. I mean, he does have the Nidus, so he could get back with that. I'm not sure where the Nidus Canal. Oh, it's over here by the third. Yeah, he's out of position. This is gonna be huge damage.
Ooh, getting that Lurker Den would be awesome as well. He actually looks like he wants to get the Hive.
That's a pretty bold bet, but he's actually gonna get it. Rogue is far enough out of position, and that's a really big gimme right there.
Oh my God, gets the Lurker Den, the Hydrolus Den.
He's back on hashtag. He's starting his lair now. Maru with kind of a doom drop. The Lurker's even acting as a force field there, blocking out the units from getting in.
Well,
Maru really bringing this back. My goodness.
I think you have to look at this and say that Maru has an advantage now, right?
Absolutely.
There's
no world in which you can turn this into a Rogue advantage. I feel like he had to make something happen with the Roaches and Ravagers. It felt like he had a really large window to do it, but, well, I don't know.
Well, he didn't really pull the trigger on pure Roach production, I guess. And then he went Nidus and didn't really do much with that. And, like, Maru's just been scaling up really well, and now he's maxed out. Definitely a better army, and I mean, you gotta get your Hive tech back up if you're gonna fight against this.
Has to rebuild the Hydrolus and the Hive just starting again now.
Yeah, that's a long ways out, and look at the amount of siege tanks.
And Maru's playing this really smart. He knows that any kind of remax from Rogue is gonna be very low tech. And I think he wants to push that advantage.
A little bit of a link counterattack. Maru pulls back against that. Well, I'm not entirely sure about this. He does get some decent files off right there. He's picking off a few siege tanks. He has to turn around, though. This is absolutely not going to go well.
A little bit of an overcommitment, but I did like picking off those siege tanks while they were vulnerable. But again, this army from Maru,
That does not look stoppable.
Hive Tech is still not done.
Yeah.
You can only really make Roach Ravager right now as Rogue. And this gold base is pretty much forfeit, and I don't know how you contest this with such a low-tech army.
Yeah. Well, I think you just have to give it up. He already pulled his drones away, but he's trying to take an arc here at the top. The Ravagers pushing forward, throwing their biles absolutely everywhere right now. Not really getting the greatest hits, to be honest, like missing the Liberator.
No,
Not sure how you miss a stationary object, but
maybe it's a little bit off kilter right now. I mean, that almost felt like it was the best possible engage you could have taken, even because there was such a low number of siege tanks and Marauders down there in the south, but it doesn't matter. His army is just so unsophisticated that it really can't contest with us. Finally, we see Vipers in production and upgrades restarted.
yeah, the Vipers, like if he had them at full energy here, he might be able to make something happen, but I think this army of Maru is just way too good.
That's a nice arc there for Rogue, though. He's trading pretty efficiently right now. The Biles kind of landing on the siege tanks. Pretty much an even trade, but Rogue, he knows that he can't continue to contest this.
Wow. Okay,
That
so
drop.
that Doom drop, yeah, that did fantastic, but it felt like Rogue didn't have the greatest plan after the Roach Warren. The Roach Warren felt smart, and then Maru just kind of bunkered up. He sniped the Overlord. The Ravagers didn't do anything.
I saw the Roach Warren, and I thought it was brilliant because I thought it was leading towards some kind of timing. Because those barracks, they lose so much production time when they're lifted up.
Yeah.
I felt like there was maybe an opportunity. I know there's a high ground natural, which makes it much more defendable for the Terran, and he eventually did snipe the Overlord. But I feel like in that situation, there has to be an opportunity for the Zerg. There has to be a way of finding something, right?
Yeah. Well,
I don't
he
know.
didn't find it, so I guess this is as good as mine. It's tied up 1-1. All right, we got ourselves a series here going into 2,000 atmospheres for set 3. And
right.
Maru keep that going.
Let's get to it.
Let's go.
Long lead-in on this one.
Game start. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Rogue. Team NV, Maru.
Incredible that Maru is able to pull that back after a proxy 3-Rex fails.
Well, that's Maru for you. Like, he's so much better at proxies. He actually always knows how to transition out. And, like, I think...
Rogue
You know,
fighting, greetings from Germany.
I think the Roach Warren might have just, like, I don't think it was necessarily the wrong call, but maybe he overmade the Roaches, right?
It's possible.
But, you know, you can't just make 4 or the Marines actually overwhelm. So but the thing is, Maru knows all this, and he's like kind of baiting people into making mistakes over countering his proxies. And then he does things like the double command center behind, and he's got his bunker set up just far enough back up the ramp with an arc of Marines near it that you get an instant punish. I mean, Marine DPS is super high, so it's like, okay, what are you actually doing here? And it's always fascinating to watch him do these builds because, you know, you see another Terran do them and they're like, oh, you went pool first, oh damn, well, I'm really far behind now. But with Maru, it's like he knows how to get out of it and get into something else.
Being able to pick off the Overlord on the high ground as well is just, it takes all the oomph out of that attack from the Zerg. It completely shuts it down. And Maru, the way that he played it, his transition, like, just so brilliant. He went to siege tanks. He knows that Rogue is on this Roach Ravager tech, and he makes the perfect units to counter it. He waits until he has his upgrades, and Rogue, it felt like he kind of was trying to get something done even when it wasn't happening, when he couldn't make it work. And that led to him being overextended across the map, which opened him up to a Doom drop. And really, Maru is kind of pulling water from a stone and taking any kind of opportunity he can to get back into it. Just such smart play.
Yeah.
Almost.
He got so much water from that stone, he almost made a Vaporeon.
Actually don't know what a Vaporeon is.
Whoa, you're not even a nerd at all.
Oh, no,
I
I've
knew
been
it
outed.
when you were too handsome.
I've been outed.
Yeah.
Is that a Pokemon or something?
That's a Pokemon that
Okay.
used the Water Stone to evolve.
All right.
Okay. I'll see myself out.
Just gonna walk home now.
Yeah. I already knew I wasn't as cool as you, but you didn't need to show everybody.
All right, everything just kind of opened up standard once again.
I told you guys Protoss players are normal people.
Third CC. We're the most well-adjusted of all the pro gamers, I gotta say.
That's for certain. All right, so.
All right.
Yeah, the second barracks coming up right now.
Third CC as well.
Mm-hmm. Looks, I mean, pretty standard stuff, right? Like it looks like he just kind of wants to get into solid economy. As far as Rogue goes, nothing out of the ordinary at all either.
No, just pretty straight up play right now. I think that from here, Maru probably is just going to try and use this third command center to gear up his economy and kind of boom in a way that allows him to contain the mid game of Rogue, because we saw it in the series against Cure, when he got up to 80 plus drones, 90 plus drones, he was unstoppable. And Maru is great, but I feel like if you let Rogue get to that stage in any game, it is such an uphill battle to actually fight your way back into it. That it has to be on his mind. He has to be thinking of ideas, thinking of ways to shut down that late game economy.
Well, there's no question that Maru wants to like drop the hammer before then, but this was a great scout from Rogue, right? He pops in, he does see the third command. He doesn't see exactly what add-ons or exactly what buildings that we have for Maru, but you know, it's a good amount of intel. Now we have a couple medevacs on the way. Stim is going to be finishing up, so Maru can maybe put some pressure on, but well, this is different from the build he used against Solar a bit. Like this third base is going to be quicker, but didn't get damage against Solar with this type of opener, right?
That's right. No Widow Mine drops or anything coming in here. Double Engineering Bay going up about the same time as the two Evolution Chambers. Rogue is going to have a little bit of an advantage in that regard.
Yeah, nothing game altering, I believe. Let's see if Maru can get any damage done here, though. I think that this is an actually very important moment within this game, because I mean, other than just like rallying out a third or a fourth medevac with some more Marines, this is it. This is like what he gets for his early pressure.
He's going to get one Overlord for free, probably scan and pick off some tumors as well. Really want to keep that contained to set up for fights in the early game, and actually getting a really good number of tumors with that. I mean, 5 is nice. Queens are going to drop that back down on the low ground. In the meantime, Maru repositioning up here in the main, trying to find some more damage. Gets another Overlord. Not really enough Zerglings to engage into this properly, though.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah, he's doing all right now. Zerglings come out and save the day. Not a lot of drone damage or anything like that.
Oh, wow. What a move. Trying to catch him.
The attempted flank.
That would have been incredible.
Yeah. Maru's getting ready. Oh, you want to fight? Let's heal these up a little bit. Let's do it.
I'm actually surprised he's not diving on those. I
There's
would have
a
done
lot
that
of
earlier.
transfuses.
But still spending all that energy,
That's
trading
true.
that for medevac energy, I think that's a trade you take through Maru.
Yeah, and take it he does. Gonna boost back towards the main base now.
2 more hatches
Oh,
going
gosh.
down.
Not much up here, is there?
Is that a macro hatch in the main base? I don't see
Yeah.
that very often.
Yeah. This means that he's gonna stay on Ling Bane. So we'll see if he what he transitions to, whether it'll be Ultra or eventually Hydralisk, but probably just very, very heavy on the Ling Bane right now.
Once the 2-prong attacks start for Maru, that's when he really begins to chip away at a lot of Zerg players. Now, Rogue is one of the best in the world at handling these multi-prong attacks, but typically with Maru, once he gets in this stage, he really doesn't want to let up the pressure. He wants to continuously deny creep spread. He wants to delay expansions as much as he can. Try and find any edge he can get. If you can pick off a queen or 2, that's great. If you can get tumors, that's great. But Rogue right now going for a huge counterattack.
Oh my god. That is a lot of Zerglings. Sends a bunch towards the natural. And actually does get that surround. In the third base, he's going to kill off a siege tank, force the SCVs out of there as well.
In the meantime, he got into the natural, picked off a siege tank there. More SCVs going down. Good Baneling connections, pushing away the Marine counterattack at his 4th base. And Maru right now taking a lot of damage. I'm getting flashbacks to that game against Solar where the Lings did a run by and just kind of devastated him. This is a really awkward position to be in, losing 12 SCVs this early.
but I think he's actually doing a bit better than he was against Solar, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This isn't devastating game-ending damage like we saw in the Solar game, but not ideal. Losing siege tanks like that, those are critical units. I think 2, possibly even 3 went down in addition to those SCVs. And Lingbane, it doesn't scale the best going into the mid or the late game. It's an army composition that excels well on creep, and it excels well when you can get big surrounds. And oh man, these not quite
Gotta
in
bide your
position.
time with that. That's a patience move right there.
This is what Maru does so well, just denying the Zerg, creep spread, denying him bases, more tumors going down, a hatch denied. And this is the way you gotta play against Rogue. This is something that Cure failed to do in his series against him. Is, oh my goodness, that depo's down again. Oh boy, more Lings coming into the third.
Oh boy, yeah.
These run bys have
as
been,
well.
oh man.
And plenty of queens back here. 28 SCVs.
These run bys. Maru's got to tighten up on this a little bit.
He's in bad shape right now.
40 SCVs going down. The first attack was not too bad, but this is...
These counter harassments are just so strong. Like, he does not have the right setup. Rogue is abusing him every time he comes in.
And both times having the depot down to the natural.
Yeah.
If you can get that wall up, then yeah, you do lose a lot of SCVs at the third base, but at least you're not losing critical units in your natural or your main base, right? And now it's... The snowball effect is going to be almost too strong, I want to say. Like, these Lings coming in, unless these are the most insane Widowmine shots of all time, that third one really was. Got a lot of Banelings there, but 60 supply advantage, 40 more Lings in production.
Can't even
Maru's
keep
in
these
a death
bases
spiral.
up, man. Look at this. The Lings and Banes just going into that third base once again. So many SCVs dying. You can see the look on Maru's face. He knows that he is dead this game. You are not coming back here against almost anybody, especially not against Rogue.
And he's got to be frustrated. Losing
Yeah.
games like this to these kind of run-bys. I mean, Rogue is one of the best in the world at executing these run-bys, but that said, they shouldn't have done as much damage as they did.
Well, you know what? He blocked it better than he did against Solar, and Rogue is another level than Solar.
That's right.
I think that this is a strategy you gotta kind of put away a little bit. These double medevac pressures are not working for Maru tonight.
He is going to try his best to salvage this situation, but Vipers are now entering the field, and those siege tanks are going to be nullified, and the siege tank count is already so low.
Yeah, 3-3 on the way. Maru does not have the economy to start his own. He is floating over his command center. That fourth base, once again, hasn't been able to mine from that at all yet.
Rogue right now, it feels like he's just kind of getting all of the pieces of the puzzle that he needs to finally finish off this game and go into map number 4.
Well, here come the Lings and Banes once again.
That's an insane hit. You need like 10 more of those, though.
Oh
my
yeah,
goodness.
at least. that was pretty great. That was like the most Lings that you could actually get.
I think Rogue was thinking he was going to be able to knock that thing down before it popped, but yeah. His Baneling connection's not that great as well, but adrenal glands, 40 more Lings in production. Rogue is right back up to 94 drones. This is right where he likes to cut at, 94, 95, and from here on, it's going to be non-stop training, non-stop ling bling with Vipers, and I don't see a path for Maru to get back in this.
No.
He's going to try his best to survive and grind it out, but we even saw Cure earlier be in the same position and trade pretty much twice as cost efficiently and still fail.
Look, these mines are absolute madness, but as this comes in, GG is called, and Rogue going to take that advantage 2-1 right now. And look, that game doesn't actually scare me for the series because it really does look very similar in a lot of ways to the game he lost against Solar.
Right.
He dominated Solar, but he did lose the one game where he was like, you know what, we're going to do like a bunch of stim Marines with medevacs, right? We were out there with like 14 Marines or something and 2 medevacs. And I mean, he actually got more done against Rogue and defended the counterattack better than he did against Solar. So like he improved from that, but still, it didn't seem, it was close for a little bit, but the counterattacks just kept coming and coming and coming.
I think it was all right for the beginning. The 2 medevacs, I'm still not opposed to that idea. I think that it has play. He only lost, I think, 8 SCVs.
Yeah,
in
the
that
first one
attack.
at 8. Yeah.
Are we going to a break?
Yeah, I guess so. We're gonna go to a quick commercial break, guys. When we come back, we'll see if Maru can tie it up.
어려워도 이렇게 멈추면 내가 아니지. 오늘이 모여 새로운 나를 만든다. 나의 레벨은 다르다. 어나더 레벨 핫6.
힘들어도
어려워도 이렇게 멈추면 내가 아니지.
오늘이 뭐야?
새로운 나를 만든다.
나의 레벨은 다르다.
어나더 레벨 핫6.
이렇게 좋은 날엔 홈캠핑이지. 홈캠핑엔 고기, 고기엔 칠성사이다. 맛있는 자리에 빠질 수 없는 청량함.
완벽하네.
칠성사이다.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
양념 툭툭, 올리브유 또르르. 우와, 그리고 제로. 너무 좋다. 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
야채 착착, 방토 톡톡, 아보카도 슥슥, 그리고 제로. 이렇게 맛있다고? 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
One of these two will win the final GSL tournament of the year. Rogue leads 2-1 over Maru. And yeah, I guess we get to see, does Maru bring it back and tie it up? That would be absolutely amazing. But Rogue is looking a bit overpowering here today.
He just seems so powerful. The way that he's playing ZVT right now, we saw Cure try and adjust and fail to stop it, and now Maru kind of in the same pickle. I mean, that last game, the Zergling counterattacks, they were so effective. Maru was way more prepared for it than he was against Solar, but still it just gave him fits. It's tough.
Yes, indeed. Here we go. Curious minds. They're all wondering, can Maru bring it back, tie it up? Because if Rogue goes up 3-1, he can do the most wild things for the next several games.
And you know he will too.
Yeah.
He's one of those players that he does not mind. He will bring up the most insane builds to try and kill you. All right, let's see what the players have in store for us now. Set for Curious Minds. Let's go.
Game start. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Rogue. Team NV, Maru.
This macro playstyle that we're seeing out of Rogue seems so hard to solve. Because on one hand, I understand the logic before going like a 2 medevac, like double drops across the map and try and like contain the Zerg and deny creep spread, because we saw how scary it can be when he hits 90+ drones on 5-6 bases.
Yeah.
It seems insurmountable if you let the Zerg get to that point, but at the same time, if you have 40 supply of units across the map trying to contain the Zerglings are so fast, it sets you up for these counterattacks, and you can't properly defend your third base. Run-bys can come into your natural expansion. It's so tough. And you got to think that Maru is scratching his head trying to devise a way of dealing with his strategy.
Yeah. Well, I kind of think about it like, okay, they're both using basically like tier 1 stuff. It's like Marines versus Zerglings is the base that we're looking at. And you can't out macro the Zerglings, it's just, there's just more, right? So you have to be more mobile than them, which is tough because there's creep and there's Zerglings. So it's like you can be a little bit more mobile, but you're taking very small edges there. So it kind of, I feel like the answer is more towards slightly higher tech to deal with this. I actually want to see some more of his Widowmine-based play.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be a slightly better answer than just trying to force your early tier units to beat his early tier units. It doesn't feel quite right in this circumstance. Like, Rogue is going to get more than you, and like he might mess up enough for you to win, but it seems not as likely.
I think we will see the Widowmine play again in this series if we get a chance for it.
Yeah.
As it is right now, Maru going up to 3 barracks off of his fast expand, still staying on 1 gas, so a bit more bio heavy.
I'm kind of excited about this. I want to say I saw this from Dream and maybe Cure, where they went like 3 racks opener, almost looked like a TVP opener, and I saw them walk out with like a pretty heavy amount of Marines kind of in the mid game. Oh no, are you serious?
It's worth it.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, just kind of keeping more heavy pressure on, forcing more units, and then you get your medevacs up there and a siege tank, and suddenly it's like, oh, this is, you know, there's less drones for the Zerg than we're normally used to.
So the bio kind of establishes the forward position with pressure.
Yeah.
To allow you to rally the other units and come in and
It's like a very
set up an
unusual amount of Marines early on, I think.
Actually, combat shields and stim getting started right now. So this is 1 sec lab. This is 2. Huh.
Queens see each other. You see there's not that many links. Look at Rogue start some more drones. He's like, yeah, no, it's fine.
That is confidence right there.
Yeah, well, these are the moments that divide pro gamers from world champions, I think, where you can look at that and be like, I am absolutely not afraid of you. We are going to continue to drone and get these little edges that are going to mean a lot.
Baneling Nest is started now, but there is a timing coming very soon where these Marines will have both combat shields and stim. The question is, how much damage will they be able to get done? Because that is a large number of queens. Zerglings in production as well with Zergling speed. 12 more on the way, 2 more queens.
Yeah, he's actually making a lot of links now. So this is the hard moment where it's like, does Maru pull back?
I think you have to.
Well, he does, but you know, is he like going to believe that Rogue is actually making the units now?
That's right. It's tough. It's really tough to make these kind of calls, especially with so much on the line. And in fact, it does look like he's going to continue to move down the map. But these Marines, they do not have medevacs. Stims are very costly. And if he tries to engage into Rogue, Rogue has a couple of opportunities for a couple of available concepts he could try and pull back and delay the stim and force another stim later, at which point the Marines are very low in hit points, but actually just going straight for an engagement. Some insane confidence here by Rogue coming in against these Marines. He's setting up the flank.
Oh my!
He gets the surround with the Lings.
He had like literally exactly enough to do that.
That was so well executed.
You see that smirk on Maru's face? He was so close to wiggling out of that and being really efficient. Instead, he lost everything. Oh my God.
That hurts. That hurts so bad.
Yeah. His build was like centered around continuing to build that mass. And now he's reset. That's so painful. Rogue just a master.
Just barely enough units. I saw that fight and I was thinking that if he chases off creep, there's no way he can make it work, but he finds the way to get the miracle surround.
Yeah.
With the lowest possible number of Zerglings to execute it.
Yeah.
And the Banelings connect, just phenomenal.
It's pretty insane. That was a truly impressive engagement from Rogue.
Maru's gonna try and find some more presence on the map here now that he has medevacs out with these Marines, but
it's on like similar army supply against Ling Bane. It's not where you want to be at right now. He was supposed to have this giant mass of Marines.
It hurts. Especially in such a tempo-based, playing against such a tempo-based style as we see from Ling Bane. This is one of those styles that Rogue has been playing where he can snowball so quickly. We've seen it. We saw it earlier today in the semifinal in his match against Cure. We've seen it against Maru when he gets advantages early. He's building 2 more hatcheries right now. Eventually he's going to start expanding all the way across the map. He's getting all of his upgrades.
Yeah. Oh, it's pretty fearsome what he's doing right now. The creep spread is really looking phenomenal. He's actually going into Hydras this time. He's got the 3rd Evo for that +1 range attack even. Like, the confidence of this Zerg, oh my God.
Maru's going to try and find a way to exert some pressure now, even despite losing that fault earlier. Imagine this push with like 12 more Marines, though.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, the amount the game has changed right now is pretty significant. So Baneling's rolling in towards that 3rd base, but Maru sees it, so he pulls back Baneling's turnaround as well.
You know, it sounds like a very noob thing to suggest, and maybe I am wrong about this, but given how bad Ling and Baneling red buys have hurt Maru in his TVZs today, I wouldn't mind seeing a sensor tower go down. Just to get a little, get some idea.
A little bit ahead of time.
Yeah, oh, here we go again.
Well, he's actually getting some drones while this is occurring. Okay.
Not too bad. Actually, yeah, these Marines are getting a lot of damage done. My goodness.
Yeah, the Hydras have popped out, but Maru
He killed
fighting
a lot
against
of
this.
queens.
Single file Lings coming in, not helping all that much.
That's
just
an even
barely
trade.
he holds on.
Maru actually making that work. Rogue a little overstepping his bounds there with that counterattack when Maru was right at his doorstep.
He lost 7 queens during that. He only has a single queen right now. That's going to make it really hard for him to refill.
That might have been quite an overextension. That could come back to bite him. These Lings are going to try and get a surround on the siege tanks coming from the side, but the Marines saving the day. None of the siege tanks go down. Banelings are morphing. Rogue needs some really good connections right now, but Maru's control is too good. 2 siege tanks go down, but that's a lot of Marines left with a 50 supply advantage, and Maru.
Did you see Rogue go back in his chair? He's like, oh!
Through
Oh
that
my
one,
God.
man.
Yeah, when he surrounded that initial group of Marines, I saw the Maru smirk where it's like the I'm screwed Maru smirk. And he still came back and was able to take that one. Rogue
Got overconfident there.
Yeah.
He went for Hydralisks. He went for a 3rd Evolution Chamber.
Yeah. He did this huge counter harassment with the Lings that didn't do that much. Lost all his queens during that time. Single file Ling Hydra barely holding that off, and Maru just kept the pressure on. Yeah, I think you're right. Rogue got overconfident after getting a big lead.
Smart play there by Maru to bring it back too. And again, imagine that push with 12 more Marines.
Yeah.
Absolutely deadly. Maru finds a way to make it happen regardless.
Yeah, and even without the 12 more Marines, he did force a cancel on and almost finished 4th base.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah. So, I mean, kudos to Maru for fighting right back there. But now we're tied up 2-2. And now it's really anyone's series. We're down to 3 games to decide this.
2 more wins separating both of these players from that championship trophy. Set 5 will be on Hardwire. These players really going toe-to-toe with each other.
I wonder if Rogue's mentality may have taken a hit there.
Kind of looking at it.
He was looking at a championship right in the eye after surrounding those Marines.
That should have been.
His body language has changed.
Yeah, that should have been a 3-1 right there.
Yeah.
But overconfidence, just kind of getting in his own head a little bit. Looking a little bit tilted after that one. He knows that he threw away what should have been an easy victory.
Well, we are going to be going into Hardwire for set number 5. Rogue, you can see the frustration on his face.
Those losses, they get to you, man.
Yeah. Even a player like Rogue can be affected mentally.
All right, let's get to it. 2-2. Rogue versus Maru.
Game starts. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Rogue. Team NV, Maru.
The mental fortitude it takes to come back from losing those Marines that early.
Amen to that.
We hatch first here for Rogue. I'm wondering how much that game is going to affect him moving forward.
Yeah. No, I don't know. We might see Rogue go off a little bit because he kind of has played this series as he normally does, and he got that advantage to go up 3-1. And 3-1, like we were talking about, that's almost insurmountable against a player like Rogue. But for him to lose when he had that advantage, and it kind of felt a little bit throwy. Like he, Rogue, like on 100% trying to win that game, probably doesn't play quite like that. He probably plays it a little bit more carefully and makes it all kind of fit together and is able to finish. So he could be off, and he does. His body language looks a little bit different. He looks a bit upset.
If he had played the same bling style, if you get that kind of tempo advantage early, it just carries through. But instead, it was, like you said, kind of hubris, just
felt that
Filling
way.
out his tech tree, going for counterattacks with units you really can't afford to spare with how much you've invested in everything
Third
else.
Evo, when do we see third Evo?
Right.
You know, it's like, yeah.
Those losses, they really do hurt. And Maru right now actually going for a really fast third command center.
Okay. Yeah, third CC into the factory. But, you know, you never know. If Rogue is really tilting, there's a possibility he just goes for like a crazy all-in here, and maybe he catches Maru because Maru's going third CC, who knows?
Could play into his favor in
Yeah,
that regard.
it could.
Does look like he's just throwing it up for now, though. Of course, he actually doesn't, huh.
Yeah, we don't see a third hatchery as of yet.
I was going to say, is that? Oh, there it is. Excuse me. For a second, I thought the third CC was much earlier than this, but it's actually going down now. I don't know where my mind went. Was I wrong about that? I thought it was a really fast third CC, but I see another one being built in the main.
Oh.
Was I wrong? Perhaps I was.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Excuse me.
It's okay. It's okay. You were right. You can see the future. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's actually even more
Omniscient.
impressive now.
Sometimes get a little bit thrown off there with the production tab and not being able to look into the Terran base, but he still is going for that fast third CC, so all is not lost. And Reactor Hellions coming down now, killing that cleaning bot.
By cleaning bot. Yeah, the Reactor Hellions. He is making that Viking now as well. Be able to push out the Overlord that is around there to scout. Some creep spread pushing forward. Nothing too out of the ordinary here.
Right, just kind of standard ZBT stuff. Seeing a small number of links come in just to help in case these Hellions and the Reaper decide to fully dive on the drones. Building up his queen count a little bit and really kind of just building up to the point where stylistically these players will start to deviate and choose what they want to specialize in this game. And I'm more curious to see what Maru decides to do from here, considering the way that the series has went. Because the fear of a rogue playing Ling Bling and getting a very high economy has to still be in his mind. And it still feels like, even though he won the last game, that problem hasn't yet been solved. You know?
Yeah. Wouldn't disagree with that. I don't know if it's a problem that'll ever be solved. Hellions coming in from the side. They do zap that creep tumor, so that's kind of a nice little bonus there. Double eBays and double Evos are going down right now.
We're not going to see too heavy a Widowmine style. Maybe just go into either reacted Widowmines or siege tanks from here with those extra barracks being added.
Yeah, and it's something to point out as well. Like, it did seem like the Widowmine style was working very well against Solar, and maybe that's just like a read that Maru has. Maybe it doesn't work as well against Rogue, but this is one of those maps where you have a lot of dead airspace behind the main. So I thought this might be one of the ones that we would see that style on, but Maru opting not to.
There's a lot of queens we have on the map already.
Yeah, very much so. Focus on pushing that creep out. I mean, you're going to be pretty safe having this group of queens walking around, that's for sure.
That's a lot of tumors also.
Fourth base starting.
I think we're going to see more of that Ling Bling style. In the meantime, Maru just kind of macroing up. He's getting his 2-2. He's moving out with these Hellions and Reapers, going to try and find some damage. Now, the Queens are spreading creep over there by the fourth base, and if Maru moves in right now, he might have an opportunity to get some good damage done on this drone line. But that's those Lings. Oh, no.
Yeah, it seems like he maybe went a little bit too far in there, and Rogue instantly jumping upon him. That was a very good defense.
I feel like
that was good for Rogue, I think.
that was very good for Rogue.
Yeah.
That was exceptional for Rogue. I feel like Maru, when he saw those Lings, maybe didn't react quite in time and didn't pull back because they went immediately. They went immediately around those Hellions to prevent any kind of retreat. And at that point, you kind of have to commit.
Trapping him there, that's huge as well, because Rogue has his fourth base and his creep isn't that far ahead. And I feel like this is like, a lot of times this is the bread and butter of Terran players, is pressuring that fourth. Can't he do that now after losing all those Hellions?
It's a very small number of Marines to contest with the Zerglings that we saw earlier as well. And he's going to go for a double drop here in the main base. 1-1 is finishing now for Rogue. Spore Crawler in position as well.
Already getting his infestation pit, pumping out those hydras as well. Yeah, the second factory is coming up, so it looks like it's. Yeah, I think we're gonna have the siege tank, double factory siege tank tech coming out from Maru.
Definitely looking like that. And
so we might actually get into one of these games where Rogue is on the 95 drones, the Linkbane Hydra, and Maru on 2 factory siege tank. And I mean, we've been wanting to see a game like this, and I mean, I don't see a way for Maru to force us to go a different way than that, right?
Right, it's really up to Rogue, it feels like, at this point. There's no real tempo that he has with Marines to try and deflect any of this. I mean, that's...
It doesn't feel like there's a push coming that's going to bring this to a head anytime soon.
No, especially not with the 4th command center going down. Oh, sensor tower's going down. Man, I really am omniscient. Look at that.
Yeah. Needs that stuff.
I think it's a very smart play. These run-bys have been so devastating against him throughout really all day today. And building right there at the 3rd base, I really do like that decision coming through. And going to see the Hive go down as well as Lurkers, so a little bit more of high-tech style coming out of Rogue.
Yeah, we did see that some against Cure as well, let's not forget, right? Like, he did utilize, especially the first time, some Lurkers with that.
Especially with the Nidus.
Yeah.
Good catch.
Yeah, very nice. Off a few of these queens here. All right. Boosting out of there. Got to bring those up the side, man. He's got his Vikings ready to try to push that back. Got to watch out for possible Niduses. We don't have that yet, though. Dude, I'm excited about this. This is going to be great because now that, this is a part of the game that Rogue is very, very good at with Lurkers. Like, whether he wants to do the 95 drone nonstop type of thing that we saw against Cure a few times, or if he wants to go for, like, a more prolonged turtley game with Viper Lurker, either one. Maru is very good against that style.
Right, we see that he's actually up in supply right now, and even up in workers going up to 85. So, hey, Maru, he must have watched Cure versus Rogue, so you know that he's making some kind of adjustments based on what he saw then. Even before this match, I'm sure he's devising his own little tactics and strategies and what practice play he wants to employ here to try and deal with this, and he's doing it really well. He's putting himself in a position to succeed. If we go back to that match,
nice, Mike.
Cheeky little exchange there, but if we go back to that match against Cure, Rogue had like an economic advantage pretty much all the way throughout, but actually right now it's Maru with 85 workers, and keep in mind, that's not factoring in the mules. His economy is thriving right now.
Yeah, he's definitely got a very nice economy, and Maru is sank it to none, and continuing to expand throughout. You see 3 command centers right now on the way. He's making walls, he's sieging up, he's getting a lot of ghosts out here, adding cloak to that. 3-3 coming up. We're gonna get into like the real late game here.
I do not like this at all.
No, that was an Armani-esque move right there.
Poor Armani catching flag.
Dude, he loves to run up and burrow Lurkers and lose them to Planetaries and Siege.
Oh, this was the move. It was a big brain play. 4D chess. I'm going to burrow the Lurkers to get him to lower his wall so I can pick up 4 SCVs and 2 siege tanks.
The Trojan Lurkers right there.
Trojan Lurkers.
Burrows as well.
Oh, wait, wow. I didn't even see this going down. That's a lot of Lurkers going down to the natural. These are going to have to evacuate, I think, as these 2 siege tanks coming up, but also another Nidus Canal coming up in the main base.
Okay, I mean, definitely some damage being dealt to Maru now.
Maybe it really was a 4D chess move.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, he brought his attention elsewhere, and here we do have a lot of damage. 22 SCVs going out. Maru's not dead, but right now you see Rogue mining a hell of a lot more. Look at this, runs up burrows. That is very Marine heavy, but he does pull back from the Lurker spine.
These Lurkers are getting huge hits on those Marines, though. He will eventually trade them down, but that has the potential to be really devastating there for Maru, and more siege tanks going down.
Maru having a hard time stabilizing here. Yeah, he had enough for all this, but like Rogue just has him a little bit off kilter.
Rogue is just kind of attacking every which way right now. Supplies have stabilized since then, too. I mean, Maru was up for a little while. Now 163 to 169, a lot of critical units went down there for Maru. At the same time, Rogue did lose a lot of lurkers himself, so it wasn't as cost efficient as it could have been if it was just Lings coming in.
3-3 is going to be finishing up here. Very nice. This turret's trying to zone that out a little bit. More lurkers coming up. Double medevac drop being sent towards the main base, it looks like, or maybe just to the side. Oh, I love this from Maru. Look at that. That's a smart way to kind of deal with that.
Wouldn't be surprised if you got like auto sec, whatever that
high sec auto tracking.
High sec auto tracking, whatever it's called.
Missile turret upgrade, yeah, for sure.
Missile turret upgrade. Marine's probably going to nope out of there as soon as those workers burrow. And Rogi has gotten up to 97 workers, so he is kind of in his happy place right now with this economy.
Oh, I love to see it. So Rogue has what he wants. Maru, though, you can see, right, he's making Siege Tanks still, he's making Liberators, he's making Ghosts, and I think that that's a great set of units to have all together. We see a second Armory coming up.
Second Nidus network as well.
Yeah. I like to see that, honestly, like the second Nidus as well as the second Armory. Like, get those upgrades. This is going to be a long game. You know, you need as much value everywhere as you can get.
These double drops from Maru have been doing a lot of good work, too. I think we've gotten maybe 2, possibly even 3 hatches, not canceled, but outright denied, and that's a lot of minerals. And if this game continues to go long, I can add up very quick. Any kind of cost efficiency you can eke out from either side.
Yeah.
If it goes to split map, that's huge.
Well, you see it's a little bit different here with Rogue against Maru than it was against Cure, because against Cure, it felt like Cure could never quite stabilize it into this type of position, right? And Rogue started to do that to Maru, but then kind of pulled back and stopped. So that means he can't throw away like 3 times the resources that he did against Cure.
He has to do it more cost efficiently.
Yeah, he's going to have to actually grind this a little bit more, which will be interesting to see him try to pull that off, because Maru's very good at this. You see him getting enhanced shockwaves, so he knows that this is going to come down a lot to trying to prevent Vipers from gaining that value. Look at this, 5 command centers on the way. It's just...
At some point, he's going to want to start sacking SCVs and just go for a full army, I think.
Probably.
90 workers right now. His economy, it's already thriving.
Yeah.
Taking another base as well.
I want to see him suck up as many resources as possible. If he can actually mine half the resources on the map, he can win this.
Absolutely. I don't see him trading less cost efficiently.
Yeah.
There's no way.
But that's where it's hard, is some of these more middle bases are really hard to actually secure and keep as Terran.
Especially if the Zerg has a good troop spread, as we see Rogue's already extending more than halfway across the map. And a little run by here, taking out some critical units at the same time, these lurkers.
That is a lot of lurkers.
Well, he has to find some way to be more cost efficient than he was in the previous games. If he were to just continue with on Ling Ling, I don't think he's ever going to find the damage that he needs.
Look at his army. Like 20 lurkers, 100 drones.
Oh boy.
Love it.
2 Nidus Canals going in Maru's main. He's going to clean these up, but it only takes 1.
Yeah.
Only takes 1 to cause chaos.
Oh!
Line him up.
Yeah. Okay, sets up a Liberator. That's a pain for just a lurker army. Liberator's actually doing a decent job here.
Those lurkers probably hoping they could like morph back into Hydras to kill those Liberators or something. That's a lot of lurkers. They don't even care.
Oh my god.
They just walk on down.
Well, I mean, you have this many, you can't repair that.
Yep, they're pretty much 3-shotting that thing. And oh man, that Nidus Canal is going up uncontested in the main base right now. As we said, it might only take 1. And I'm curious about what he has in that Nidus as these lurkers continue.
I think nothing. Yeah.
4 Lings and a Hydra. He's gonna get the upgrade though.
Oh,
that's value.
Man.
That's value.
+3 weapons.
What an attack.
That was the plan right there, deny +3 weapons. The siege tanks just won't be able to kill the lurkers as well.
Might even get a Viking out of it if he micros those Hydras. Meantime, these ghosts are going to try and get some snipes off. It's a little bit tough with the range upgrade there on those lurkers, but I mean, Rogue, he is finding ways to be cost efficient right now. He's getting good trades with this kind of like,
and look at his income.
Clumpy army.
Awesome income. Oh, you got to kill that Maru. He's going to kill that +3 attack again. Oh, no. There's
4 more Lings and another Hydra are going to come out and kill a landed Viking or something.
All right, going to take that down. Rogue not ready to really do much. Look at this, just walking under Liberators.
I think he was almost walking on a siege tanks over there for a second. Oh, it's Ghost. And maybe not as effective this time, no.
But are we to the point now where he's denying these bases long enough that he can start being very cost inefficient and be okay?
It's possible. He is taking more bases. His bank does rival that of Maru's, and he has way more gas, so he has the opportunity to remax on higher tech units that can trade more efficiently, and that was kind of a sticking point for him again. And his series against Kier earlier today was he could really only stay on Ling Bling, but with this kind of bank, pretty much any tech transitions on the table.
He has about twice the income of Maru right now. Bunch of Lings going across the map, trying to pick off some of these command centers.
It's so hard as a Terran to kind of fortify all of these positions and deal with the Niduses across the map.
Well, it's tough because like the Liberators, they do a good job, and then all these Lings coming in, they do not do a good job.
My
anymore.
goodness.
The Siege Tank's doing all right, sniping down some of these Overseers.
These are good trades for Maru.
Yeah, for sure. Very efficient there. But look at that, the Changeling just walks up and gets a couple down.
29 Hydralisks in production. You got to imagine that those are going to go into the Nidus and pop into the main base. I would think that's what's going to happen. Some units are getting deposited now already. Quarry Link so far. It's got a lot more in the bag, not depositing them yet.
All right, well, I guess he'll be able to clean that up, but Ghost Academy looks like it's going to fall.
Surprising he didn't try to commit more to get on the production there.
That has to be so annoying. It's so hard to prevent him from actually just squeezing in somehow, like even a Changeling walking up. Rogue really using everything he can to get these up.
Well, yeah, Rogue's attacking on 2 different spots of the map, and he's doing it with an army composition of pretty much pure Lurker, which, if that catches you off guard, could be devastating. And
yeah. Maru has some sick income right now as well. Look at that.
A lot of mules just dropped, I'm sure.
Yeah, that has to be.
Probably since he got that top left base up, he's going to try and mine those minerals as fast as he can because...
Yeah, some of those fringe bases are so hard to keep going. All right, Rogue's going after it, though. Time to walk under the Liberators. And the Siege Tanks. And the more Liberators. Oh my god.
They
like, the efficiency of Maru is insane.
They do not care, though. Hydralisk gonna come in down. I like this counterattack here by Maru taking off these bases.
Dude, the Liberators are just wrecking this strategy right now. Look at Rogue's supply fall down, his bank fall down as well.
And at the same time, Maru is getting really great damage on these fringe bases that are fresh, that have a lot of minerals and gas deposited on them. And this is what he needs to do because he knows that Rogue is taking these inefficient trades. Maru, he doesn't have to stabilize completely, but if he can do counter damage and prevent Rogue from getting all of this income and make the remax more and more costly, he does have a chance. I mean, these attacks by Rogue, they are getting some damage done, but not cost efficiently.
No, he has to stop walking 20 Lurkers under Liberators plus Siege Tanks. Like, he's just giving so many high-value units away to Maru right now. And, like, right now, Maru actually has more income. Maru has that max supply as well. So I think it's really time for Rogue to switch up his strategy. Get some Vipers out here.
There's a lot of Liberators here with these Hydralisks. That's a lot of money going down for Maru. So we see his supply dip, and now both players are around 170 with minimal banks, honestly.
Yeah, getting very much lower. Command Center is going to start falling to these Hydras. +3 ranged attack doing great work. Put up the Nidus to try to run out. All right, I love it.
He actually gets
That's a
out.
great escape right there.
Wow. What a play there by Rogue.
Rogue really has all the tools.
He's all over the map. He takes off that fringe base. He goes over here to the natural 4th base of Maru. He's causing all sorts of problems. And while he is getting this damage done, though, again, Maru is being so much more cost efficient.
But at the end of the day, who's mining and where?
Right. It's such a weird kind of economic dance that's going on in terms of trade efficiency versus mining income and sniping bases and denying opportunity cost on workers mining, and it's so technical the way these two are going at it.
Gonna push him back there with those lurkers. Marauders have to turn around. There's a lot of lings that have been produced now. Maybe he feels like he has a moment here where he can start to swarm.
These lings certainly have a huge opportunity over here. The natural looks like that's a lot of siege tanks that are unprotected. Even two, I think, going down just to a small number of lings. If he floods this,
yeah, the Hydras have to get out of here though. As units come up.
They're
not the greatest at running away.
Right, but a lot of the units that Maru has right now, I guess these ghosts are going to make it a little bit easier to take this fight, I would think.
Well, the Link's starting to surround everything else. Is the Link's get on top of the Ghost? Ah, no, I think he has just enough to wipe everything.
Ghost do a lot of damage against that army composition, but if Rogue is able to get a big Link flood on top of siege tanks or at another command center, my goodness, you don't see that every day.
No.
Only 8 Hydras in production now for Rogue. He's really starting to run out of resources. I love these counterattacks here by Maru.
Yeah, gonna go ahead and burrow once again, picking off these siege tanks.
There's a lot riding on this army. He's got to get out of there, I think. You cannot afford to lose those ghosts.
And there's just no anti-air here.
None at all.
Just to turn around immediately. Maru picking off more and more and more. Rogue's still with a very high drone count. He is re-expanding towards the top left. Maru trying to get over there with another command center as well.
A lot of the bases for Rogue are mined out, though, and as that happens, he's going to have to start taking more and more fringe bases. We even see him trying to take this one all the way over here in the northwest. And the way that Maru's been moving on the map once he gets the opportunity to actually push out a little bit, he's been really effective, and he's been doing that on bases that are much harder to attack into than hatcheries such as this one. If Maru can just survive for a couple more minutes and force Rogue into a situation where he has to take further and further fringe bases closer and closer to the center of the map, this might start tilting more in his favor.
Possibly. I'd love to see the actual cost efficiency so far this game.
I would
just
love
to kind of
see
get
that.
an idea of what we're battling over now.
Both these players have lost so many resources. Usually you see these games when they go 25+ minutes with effectively split map economies. They're usually very low combat, but these guys are just going at it non-stop.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised
sometimes
if
to
we
their
saw-
own detriment.
Right.
I mean, sometimes they're getting a lot of value, and then other times they're losing a lot for not very much in return.
It's one of the few times Rogue actually has all of his army units in one place right now, kind of deathballing there in the center, but
well, those bottom right bases I think are very important. Like, just all the bases in the bottom right and the top left are still kind of up for grabs.
Yeah,
Rogue has not mined everything out in that bottom left, so Maru wants to keep that pressure on. So many lings coming into that top left. Gonna start picking off a lot of SCDs. Oh, up come the lurkers.
Yeah, big attack over here at this base. This is more of a strategic location than it is a mining base, though. Taking off more siege tanks. Ideally going to take down that Liberator as well, and the Ghost Academy is over there too. Going to have to rebuild that somewhere if it goes down.
All right, he is going to pick that. And you're right, this strategically, that's a very strong location because it's like kind of the leading in base to those bottom right bases. And if Rogue gets those, there's no way Maru's going to be able to take this.
It takes a lot of pressure off of those bases. And right now, the most critical bases on the map are the ones at 3 o'clock, 6, and 7. And I guess that went all the way in the top left because Rogue just keeps killing it, so it hasn't mined fully yet. But you see a lot of these hatcheries for Rogue, they only have 4 patches. Only 8 drones can effectively mine at a time, and you start to see his income falter, and right now he's going to go in for an attack.
Oh, the Hydra's on the high ground here, trying to get something done, but Maru's army way too efficient, cleaning that up.
Rogue right now, he's starting to get in trouble. He's losing a lot of his efficient mining. Most of his bases, almost all of his bases, are out of minerals. It's really just the bottom 2. And you see it right there. He's harvesting the same rate as Maru right now with significantly less hatcheries. And that's only 135 supply of Zerg with not a sophisticated army. He's down to 2 lurkers right now, 6 Hydras. The rest are Zerglings. Okay, a couple more lurkers morphed. We're up to 9 now.
Well, Maru gonna hit like one of his primary mining bases. Okay, he's gonna come back here with what he's got. Oh, the flank here. See if he actually gets anything done with those lurkers. Oh my god, they get picked off so quickly. These ghosts adding huge value to his army.
This is, I think, the tipping point right now.
Wow.
Maru just grinding it out.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. This is crazy too. Like Rogue, it looked like he had a decent edge a couple times in the game. Maybe pushed a little bit too hard with the lurkers under some of those liberators, and Maru just fought back so well. A great game though.
Tired after watching that one, man. Imagine how these players must feel. That kind of game is draining.
Yeah.
Absolutely draining, but that's the first time that we've seen a Terran player effectively deal with this 90-plus drone style that we've seen from Rogue so far in Super Tournament.
It seems like, I think there was a combination of Rogue thinking he couldn't keep the aggression on and Maru actually stabilizing. Like, because it didn't feel like Maru was completely stabilized when Rogue stopped attacking, but it also didn't feel like it did against Cure, where it was like, yes, keep attacking, right? So it was a little bit questionable there, and that definitely, I think, helped, because that was a moment that it felt like Maru might lose control.
It's a really delicate balance there for the Zerg player in terms of aggression, too, because your units, generally speaking, are not going to be as cost-efficient as the endgame Terran units. When Terran gets a lot of ghosts out, if they have a good Liberator and Siege Tank count, it can be quite difficult to get all of the tools to manage that. So I understand the aggression, but Maru just being so resilient, I mean, it makes sense that he built all those command centers because he must have lost like 10 that game, you know? And he just kept retaking bases, he kept mining, and he really basically took it to the point where the fringe bases for Rogue were the only real spots that he can efficiently mine from. And once you get to that point, if Rogue can no longer trade cost efficiently, he's just going to bleed out.
Yeah. Well, he did. You know, maybe just a little bit too wasteful a few too many times there. It's hard to play that style. We were talking about that, right, in the other series against Cure, where it looks like this overwhelming craziness. But if you don't pull the punches at the right time, then suddenly you get way too wasteful, and you go over that tipping point. That, of course, our CEO in the audience of Afrika TV. Definitely watching this excellent series.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
Well, we knew going into this it was going to be a close match.
Yeah, 3-2 right now with Maru at the advantage. So Rogue on the back foot. He's only lost one best of 7 before, and that was against Zest last season. So, you know, he went from this undefeatable force when you get to the end of the tournament to losing one. Is he going to lose a second one? It's crazy, too, because it really looked like he was going to be up 3-1, and here he is 2-3 now.
That's right. I forgot about how quickly that game turned.
Yeah.
Kind of reading too much into that advantage and filling out his tech tree too rapidly, taking risks. But the fact that Maru was able to withstand the onslaught that is a 90-plus drone army really kind of speaks to where this series might be heading. I think that Maru, right now, the clear favorite to take this series after taking that game in a macro one. I mean, you can see it on Rogue's face.
I think he might pull the trigger and all in this game.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I kind of get that vibe that Rogue is going to... There's going to be roaches. He's going to try to kill him. I don't know. That's my guess.
The map will be glittering ashes. This is one of those maps that's better for battlecruiser rushes and stuff like that. Let's get into it. All right, set 6. Can Maru close it out 4-2, or will Rogue start the comeback?
Game starts. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Rogue. Team NV, Maru.
Gas first opener again for Maru.
Cool.
Seen a lot of balance between gas first and racks first from him in this series.
Definitely a wide variety of openers.
It's really fun to watch.
Rogue there with U16 hatch going down.
Maru stopping that aggression, though, really makes me think that Rogue has to pull something out of a hat. Either that or he has to take those fights much more efficiently. He was quite wasteful, as you said, with those lurker attacks, and I understand kind of the idea behind it. You want to deny mining from the Terran player as much as possible. You want to, it's okay to trade cost inefficiently when you have the majority of the map and you're mining with 90+ drones.
Yeah.
But there is a tipping point where that no longer is effective. And if the Terran player, as Maru did in that game, can survive to that point and then target your fringe bases that are the only ones with the remaining resources, really, it can become so problematic.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, a lot of the times you just kind of keep them off that extra base that you keep suiciding into, and that's enough. But Maru is one of those guys who just will keep making command centers and keep sending them over, and, you know.
That's what you got to do.
He's going to wiggle his way out. All right, it looks, I mean, nothing out of the ordinary right now as far as their openers. The factory coming up for Maru. There's the reactor. Getting ready for those Hellions, no doubt.
6 lings for Rogue, and he's going to take a 3rd hatch as well, so no crazy timings in the cards yet.
Yeah, Reaper just going to come up, confirm what's going on here. You see that 3rd hatchery already down. The snap, 6 lings out.
Everything just kind of standard right now. Starport going up there for Maru. Should see reactor Hellions. There they are. And the Reaper just going to confirm the gas count there on Rogue, and I'm sure there's nothing too tricky coming around.
I'm interested what he's going to do here with the starport. We're going to see a medevac again. Could it be Banshee this time? Well, we don't see like the racks making any add-ons, so it kind of feels to me like it's going to be a medevac, but we'll see. Viking first. He has been doing this quite a bit, actually.
It's good. Anytime you can limit information.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, when you open Rack's factory starport, there are really so many different variants that you can go into, you know? You can go for Hellbat timings, you can go for Cloak Banshees, you can go for Battle Cruisers, if you're feeling extra spicy. Getting to the Viking early like that and kind of denying any scouting information from the Zerg player makes them play a little bit safer. Can't take too many economic risks. And Rogue is one of those players who we've seen be really proactive with his Overlord scouts in kind of a good way, just over the course of his career.
Oh, yeah. Rogue wants that intel very, very badly. So we can kind of just prep. Armory coming up. Concussive shell as well. Okay, so that was a fake, the concussive shell. He wanted it to look like he was getting stim. So cancels that as soon as that Overlord vision goes away. But is it just going to be... Okay, there's the second factory. I think it's going to be the Drilling Claws build.
I think it is. It's looking a lot like that.
So.
See if there's a second medevac coming by.
Very exciting.
I was waiting to see this in the series.
Yeah.
It worked so well against Solar. And actually seeing the 3rd command center going down. Is that a reactor and a tech lab going down on the starport as well? So really just filling out all of the add-ons. See what mine's in production. And yeah, it's going to be that Drilling Claws upgrade.
Yeah, no doubt. He's just finishing up that factory that's on the tech lab now. Drops these Hellions out. Okay, going to go ahead and morph them over. Of course, now the chase scene begins.
Oh. Not quite able to get to the natural.
Oh!
That's a lot of Zerglings going down. Rogue's attention was divided a little bit there.
It was. That's actually a bit more damage than I was expecting here. 3 drones plus that many lings. Actually, I mean, not bad considering this is not like the main crux of what he's trying to do.
No, not bad at all. Even morphing those back into Hellions to get 3 of them out of there instead of 2. More barracks going down, double engineering bay. And yeah, it looks like it's just going to be Widowmine harassment into standard bioplay. And this is kind of the thing we were talking about before we went to this series, which is this style that he played against Solar that we thought could work really well against what Rogue was doing.
Yeah.
Because this kind of Widowmine play style, if you execute it properly, it's very difficult to do. If it leads up to either multi-prong attacks to try and contain the Zerg on bases or on creep spread, you can really kind of prevent the snowball effect of the Zerg economy, which is really what Rogue has been going for all throughout ZVT in the semifinals and the finals.
Well, here comes the first drop. This is going to be a very important one. Drilling Claw's just about to finish. Oh, he turns around. Oh my god. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all.
He's got to send that back home and repair.
Yeah, that's too low. You cannot risk that.
And only sending one medevac now with full HP. I mean, part of the benefit of having the second medevac is not just increasing the damage potential, but also making it much harder for your opponent to multitask and deal with these Widowmine drops. When it's one medevac just dropping in one location, it's much easier for the Zerg player to defend against.
Flying around that creep spread right now with that other medevac. More have been made. A siege tank now on the way, probably just a defensive measure for now. But he hasn't gotten damage done yet. We have to see if he's going to be able to.
Lane counterattack coming in right now. Going to pick off some SCVs as the Widowmines drop here in the natural expansion of Rogue. 5 drones going down. Oh, in the meantime, the medevac, the second medevac got taken out.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, that was the dead medevac right there behind the spore crawler. Only
Maru
7 drones dying for 2 full medevacs of Widowmines.
Yeah, he normally does quite a bit better than that. So this is much less damage than we saw at all against Solar with the same strategy.
That being said, there are still 2 Widowmines in the natural expansion of Rogue that are hiding over there in the corner. They might try and sneak in and get some more damage done as they recharge.
And you know what? He's stopping a lot of the harassment that's happening to him as well here. The Hellions and Hellbats have done a great job preventing a lot of that.
Gonna get a cancel on that hatchery. Coming into the natural expansion now with all of these bailings, but these are slow bailings, and the worker split is really effective against him.
He actually is still getting a few. Actually, no, that was good defense from Maru. Very solid defense.
8 SCVs is not that bad. Bailing speed now finally finishing. He would have loved to have that 10 seconds earlier. Gonna get a couple more SCVs there as 9 SCVs going down. Maybe a couple more there in the natural with those 2 lings. And right now, Rogue, 16 more Zerglings in production with 2-2 on the way. He's looking to kind of amp this up right now. Oh. I'm wondering about those,
I would love to see him move those in now.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's going to figure this out in a second.
He might be waiting for something else to be happening on the map.
Possibly.
So
definitely want to. Yo, that's like so juicy. 23 drones. Ah!
If Rogue isn't aware, though, waiting until there's some kind of pressure somewhere else.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so hard to see.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he's not looking behind the Baneling Nest. Like, there's no reason for his eyes to go there at all. Okay, some Hellions coming out. I think he'll probably pair it with this, right? Like, he's moving out with other units. So as Rogue starts to do anything around there, it's going to be a good time.
Especially considering the Widowmine drop phase of this game is pretty much past.
Yeah.
Rogue is not going to be looking at the minimap ready for this.
Yeah, it's going to be more and more surprising.
All right. Still watching that minimap.
Dude, I don't care about the rest of the game. I just care about this one move that's going to occur eventually.
How funny it would be if Maru's also unaware.
Yeah, I mean, you can lose track of things like that. Absolutely.
Especially on match point, finals of the tournament. A lot of things going through your head.
By the way, Rogue has...
That was a money shot right there.
Yeah. Rogue has some pretty excellent creep spread right now.
He really does. All right, here comes Maru onto the space of Rogue. In the meantime, Rogue coming in with an attack here at the natural of Maru. That's a lot of Bailings coming in. They pop up all of the bio. Going to go over to the third base now as the Zerglings head towards the natural.
Oh, not
to try and get some SCVs. 15 going down in the meantime. Maru with a counterattack of his own.
Yeah, this one is going to be forced back. A decent amount of damage being dealt.
17 SCVs going down for Maru right now. He's all the way down to 63 to the 87. Those Widowmines still doing nothing. I'm not sure Maru's aware of them. I feel like he's had some opportunities.
Yeah, our observer keeps checking, but there's been enough stuff going on. It's pretty clear that both of them have forgotten about those Widowmines at this point.
Another wing run by coming in right now, and this is a small bio army. The tank goes down as well. Things might be snowballing out of control right now.
Yeah, it does look that way. Another siege tank falls. The wall's not full. GG is called. Those 2 Widow Mines will never be used. And we go to game number 7. This could not be better.
What a series. These pyrotechnics are so cool, man.
I know. God, one of these guys in the next game is going to end up winning. Rogue has now brought it back to match point. Pride of Altaris, the map no one has ever seen.
No one wanted to play on it, but it's where everything will be decided.
Yeah, yeah.
The momentum has shifted so many times in this series.
It really has. It really has. What do you do now? This is it. It's like the final GSL tournament of the year. Who's going to be the champion? 2 best players going at it.
I don't know,
They've
man.
already shown each other so much. They've been teammates forever. They practice together plenty. Like, what do you even do?
Do you proxy racks?
You
Do
proxy
cheese?
racks and pool first. Let's do it.
Let's go. All right, here we go. Set 7, Pride of Altaris. The winner will take it all. Let's get to it.
Game start. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Rogue.
Here we go.
This is the move.
This is the move, man.
Game 7 of an important tournament finals. This is the MVP move right here. You go out and you proxy your barracks and you kill them.
We were talking about MVP versus Squirtle and the
break.
The brass tacks it takes to go
Yeah.
double barracks proxy on game 7.
Such a cllose series.
Here
Look at
Maru
this.
was doing it again, but oh, this Overlord Scout.
Yeah, that is quite the Overlord Scout, isn't it? He knows.
It's heading
Because it's
right
like,
for
this
it.
is Maru. Maru is this type of player that he will do something like
Going
this.
hatch first. There is a drone scout coming out as well, though, checking the other corners, but this Overlord is absolutely going to spot this.
Uh-oh, Maru, are you going to be in trouble here? He might actually just be fine.
On the minimap, we do see drones being pulled to try to delay this. Keep in mind, this is a hatch-first build from Rogue, but we've seen some excellent SCV building micro from Maru. Of course, there is some RNG involved, but you see Maru canceling the animation and the one that's slightly damaged to try and
Look
keep
at
it
that.
all the way there in the back.
Oh, my God.
Oh, come on.
Oh, he's getting bad RNG
It's
this
rough.
time.
There we go.
Oh.
He gets all the way in.
If it sits back there.
Oh, he's going to get it.
Oh,
it barely
you
gets
kidding
it. He
me?
barely gets it. The second rack's going down. Trying to cancel the animation. He's right there in the roof. Oh my goodness, both racks go down.
And he gets away with an SCV as well.
This is
Oh my God.
insane. And on the back foot of this, again, Rogue pulling drones, getting no damage done with him. He did delay the barracks by a little bit because Maru had to cancel the animations, but at the end of the day, this is hatch first. This is going to be such a tough hold.
I think he will end up holding. Like, Rogue is good against these proxy plays.
But Maru is the best Terran player in the world. His control is phenomenal.
All right, 2 queens, 8 lings on the way. Factory back at home for Maru. He's kind of patrolling around right now, continuing to rally out these Marines. Speed is on the way now as well. Doesn't start a bunker, so this is turning into more of a pressure play for Maru. Doesn't seem like he has much potential for winning the game at this point. Yeah, look at that, the bunker down the bottom of the ramp.
Poking and prodding with these Marines now.
Yeah, you're not really wanting to engage until you have that speed upgrade. Maru is not going to overcommit on this creep.
No, he does not.
That's about as far as he's going to go right there. Needs to be able to get off.
Yeah, even that's almost testing the waters. Rogue, he really wants to get us around, and he sees the lifted barracks, so he knows.
Yeah, he knows that there's no more Marines coming, and Maru knows exactly how many Zerglings there are now. A lot of info on both sides. Oh, tries to go after that Overlord. Not going to quite work out.
What a way to start Game 7.
I know.
We saw this earlier in this series where Maru went for proxy 3-racks and was able to turn it into effectively a macro game where he played really artfully. In that game, we did see roaches from the Zerg player as opposed to Zerglings. I feel like this Zergling, especially with speed, he might be able to catch these Marines before they get home. I think he's going to be able to. That's going to be a big catch if he gets it.
Okay, these Marines actually get kind of sacrificed.
Oh, but Rogue, he's too smart.
Yeah. But he does have Hellions about to pop out, so I think he does not die here.
No, he never dies, but losing these 7 Marines, that
that's
hurts.
annoying. For sure.
Takes a lot of the potential punch out of a
Yeah.
follow-up attack, and look at that. 1 Zergling down
Oh my
for a
God.
barracks, 7 Marines, and some number of SCVs. Immaculate
Wow.
defense by Rogue.
Yeah. Yeah. Just fantastically done. Okay, I love this. Ah, he flies
There's
over
no-
the Lings.
yeah.
Okay, well.
He's going to clean up the Lings a little bit. Get some damage on them before
Yeah,
lifting off.
this is a good move. Like, I like the idea of trying to go and it's like, well, if none of the Lings see you, you might actually get a ton of drones and change the game right around.
Rogue is too good for that, though.
Yeah.
Nice spread there in the natural, just kind of getting all the vision he needs. The benefit of this drop for Maru as well is it kind of takes the pressure off him a little bit, able to go to that low ground expansion. Start the 3rd command center as well.
A Raven being made.
Huh.
I think
Oh,
auto
boy.
turret harassment? Oh, picks up. Nice,
man.
nice, nice.
That is nice.
Yeah.
4 drones for free.
What do you think about that Raven, though?
I'm curious about that. Where do you think this is going?
Okay, maybe, because he has like 8 Hellions now, maybe this is like he wants to keep the creep back with this or something. Other than that, like auto turret harassment's the only other thing I can think of. Right, just fly on the side, just drop some auto turrets, like...
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Not as popular against Zerg.
No,
clearly.
don't see this very often in this matchup at all.
But I guess he feels like this is something he needs to do right now.
Sending it across the map, it looks like. Skirting around the edges. 2 more barracks in production. And starting his engineering base as well, so there will be a small window where Rogue has an upgrade advantage.
Does feel pretty good for Rogue right this second, but I don't want to underestimate Maru. Like, he knows these positions well. It's just, it doesn't feel like he has much he can do on the map. Like, you can run around with Hellions just because the Lings will get pulled into like a gross position, you'll get cost efficiency, but like, I don't see him being able to actually put on any pressure for quite some time.
I've got to agree with you. It's one of the reasons why I like this 3rd command center coming up from him, because given the way that these openings have went, it is tough, even if he was on 2 GC, to try and get any damage done. So just getting any eco greed he can is pretty much all it's going to take. Meantime, Hellion drop going in the main base. A lot of Zerglings that are cleaned up. He's going to have to evacuate from that one. Auto turret at the 3rd. The drones are pulled.
Did he lose the Raven? I think he did.
He did. I'm looking at the minimap, and I'm not seeing it anywhere. And
He
that's
lost it.
Costly.
Yeah, that's and it's not like I wouldn't say that this is anything like TVT or like a TVP versus a Colossus push where you're going to lose the game because you lose a Raven, but it is expensive. And to get 1 auto turret off and not really do anything with it, a little bit painful for sure.
Quite painful indeed. I don't think we actually saw any more Tech Lab units out of that starport either, so then you're losing lifting time on the starport as well. A lot of Hellions on the field, though. I think we have 8 still. Armory going up, and 2 more racks now for Maru.
Yeah, but look at this Ling Bane style. Macro Hatch is going up in the main base for Rogue. He is not taking any prisoners. This is such a powerful way for him to play this game.
He's already on 75 drones. He doesn't really need any more right now on 4 bases.
He doesn't need more drones. He needs 15 more drones. That's what he needs.
He'll get up to it eventually. The game goes that long, but for now, it looks like he kind of wants to crush any kind of pressure that Maru might try to exert on him as he goes for the gold base.
Yeah,
getting a nice surround again on these Marines. Actually trading not too favorably there, and the Hellions are going to try and find some damage, but a lot of Zerglings on the map. It's tough to really get anything done against Rogue. He's got creep spread and eyes everywhere as Baneling speed finally finishes up. We got Burrow as well. We'll see some Baneling landmines somewhere on the map eventually.
Hydralis Den being done. Second factory is coming up for Maru. I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of siege tanks here once again.
I think it has to be.
Yeah. I think he doesn't have a super lot of options right now. Like, look at what the creep spread is. Like, I don't think he can. Yeah, like this doesn't seem like something that's going to work.
It's a big engagement coming now.
Okay, that was good connection on the Banelings at least.
It was, but 3 siege tanks going down, 2 siege tanks going down, and losing a lot of Marines. This is a good supply trade fight for Maru, but Rogue, he has a really big economy right now, and Maru losing pretty much all of his Marines in that fight until he reconvenes with the rest of his reinforcements. He can't really push off of that.
Yeah, and look, +2 carapace is almost done. 2-2 just started for Maru. It's looking dire.
It is. He will be taking that 4th base, though. Not too far behind in that regard against Rogue, but here we go. A lot more drones in completion now. 86 with a gold base.
Yeah, that's...
You thought the Linkling was scary before, but add a gold base into the equation and things get even scarier.
Yeah, yeah. All right, +1 on the mech weapons here for Maru. Producing 2 siege tanks at a time. Hive is underway, so we are going to get up to Vipers. Obviously, he'll get into lurker upgrades as well.
Maru doing his best to try to keep the creep spread back, but Rogue just being relentless with us, already pushing more than halfway across the center of the map. Lurker Den going down, as well as 3 more hatcheries.
We gotta have a big, long macro game here for Maru.
I think so.
There is not going to be any window for him to win this game.
Oh no!
Until the very late game.
All these units coming to the natural expansion. SCVs are being pulled.
Oh, he actually
misses the Banelings kind of walk right by. There aren't a lot of SCVs in the main base, so this isn't quite as devastating as hits would be at the natural. Only 7, 8 SCVs going down. That's recoverable.
Still quite annoying. Oh, I like the burrow in there as well, make him use some of his scans.
He might not even be aware. We've seen a lot of burrowed Zerglings by Rogue throughout this entire series. Haven't really touched on it. 2 more siege tanks going down here, basically for free.
Yeah.
Maru needs these critical units, and those Zerglings are going to be problematic later.
We're up to 98 drones. So Rogue is going to hit just what he was doing against Cure. I think we are just about to hit the moment where Rogue is going to kind of pop off and non-stop. Right. Just non-stop Ling macro.
It's so easy for him to hit max with this level of economy. 5,000 minerals a minute. 5,000!
It's insane. Look at this, 102 drones right now. 102, that's even more than he had against Cure.
He is never going to stop attacking. And Adrenal Gland's almost done as well. Flooding Lings right now with this low number of siege tanks. And not to Maru's fault, but there is a lack of SimCity. It's really tough given the way these expansions are laid out to actually get an effective SimCity, so you can't really fault him, but it will make defending this even more difficult. I love the mixture of Hellbats, but the Banelings, when they come in, this is going to be so much Zerg.
Yeah, there is a ton coming in right now, and not getting the connections he needs. Okay, like a decent one there. The siege tanks are eliminating Banelings as best they can. Link's coming into the other side. The Hellbat's going to help that siege tank. Planetary has to get canceled. He's dealing with that first wave pretty darn well, considering.
That was about as well as he could have done it given the situation he's in, and he needs a lot more holds like that. If you're Maru right now, you want to survive, you want to trade cost efficiently, and you want to continuously build these high-tech units. You want to get your tank count back up. You lost a lot of tanks to Zergling. You want to get Ghosts out on the field, and you want to max your upgrades, because eventually your army, once you hit max, will be able to contest with this. But these run-bys, you have to survive this phase of the game.
Yeah, it's so tough too. You can see these Lings just coming in. They're so cheap. They're so fast, just kind of running by. That siege tank, down it's going to go. He's going to have to cancel this once again or lose it. He loses it, unfortunately. That morphing planetary falling.
And you see this damage output coming out from these Zerglings. They aren't even fully upgraded yet. They're about to have +3 attack.
Oh, God.
This is going to get really scary.
Yeah.
Really, really fast. And these Lings are the most expendable unit in the game by their nature. But when you have 102 workers with a gold base, it's insane.
No, his income doesn't even make sense.
We even see lurkers coming in on the field right now, and this bank just continues to grow. 3,000 minerals right now for Rogue. And you know that if he takes a big fight and trades out critical units, he's going to max on 100+ Lings and just overwhelm Maru. Maru cannot afford to lose any fights.
Oh my god, he sees stuff coming for him on every side. Here come the lurkers to the planetary, and here's a Massling Bane. My god, that's a lot of Banelings just kind of rolling through. They're going to be able to kill off these ghosts.
Oh, wow, that's a fantastic cleanup there by Maru. We didn't get a shot of it into the end. 40 SCVs, though, going down in the meantime. Maru now more than doubled in worker count. 108 Lings in production, 18 Banelings, and a Nidus Canal coming through as well.
Rogue looks so unstoppable right now. I mean, Maru did as well as anyone could right there, but Rogue has just got the machine behind him. What can you do?
32 more Banelings in production, 16 more Zerglings. This is going to be a level of Ling Baneling that we might have not ever seen in the GSL before. This army that comes through is going to be overpowering. These numbers are insane.
More Lings going up towards that main base as well. GG, and that is it. Rogue winning GSL Super Tournament, the last one of the year. Yet another accolade to the greatest player of all time.
And what a fantastic series to wrap things up, going all the way to Game 7, and Rogue showing just phenomenal macro play, going up to triple-digit drones. In the final game of the GSL, the final game of GSL in 2021. What a way to wrap things up. What a way to win it. Phenomenal play from Rogue.
So well done. And I mean, a well-deserved championship for him here. Had to take down Dark on the way. Let's not forget a very tough one. And there we go. Rogue is your champion. Beating Maru here on land, despite some recent losses to him online.
Beating the best Terran player in the world on land. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, and it seemed like he was falling apart for a moment there in the series, but brought it back at the end of the day. Let's go to an interview with Rogue.
Wow, what a phenomenal match by you, Rogue. You defeated the most formidable opponent in the GSL, and now you show your prowess in an offline match. You lift the trophy now. You beat Maru and you won. How do you feel? Honestly speaking, Maru played phenomenally today. And I really, my mindset was just to have a nice match with him, a fun match. I really wanted to have fun. But then, you know, lifting the trophy after a long time feels great. Out of all the finals, this one has to be one of the best. There's been upset and an upset, and it was very neck and neck match overall. And Rogue, you tried to do your best today. And I think this is a finals for you to remember later. Well, there has been a very short preparation time. So compared to the other finals in the past, this one was very short in preparation. But you know, it feels good to really, it feels really good to win after a long time. And I feel like my mechanics are still there. The greatest Zerg in Korea, Rogue. And now you are at the peak of StarCraft 2. And the driving force for your success has always been your fans, Rogue. So anything you want to say to your fans? I'm really grateful to my fans for coming here to the venue in this cold winter. And you know, really today feels great because I was able to win in the finals in an offline stage. I'm really happy. And from now on, Rogue, what kind of player do you want to remain as? From now on, there are still tournaments to attend. I'm gonna try my best, and I'll try to get ready for my next match. And I want to be remembered as one of the greatest players. And Rogue, we look forward to your performance in the future as well. Congratulations once again. Thank you.
All right. Just another phenomenal performance. And of course, you can't have one without the loser, Maru, right? Second place, but put on quite a tournament.
Best Zerg in Korea defeats the GSL champion. And then Maru, incredible run.
Mr. Che coming up, the creator of GSL, going to be giving the runner-up award here to Maru. Mr. Che literally invented GSL, and then when GOM TV was going away, got a Afrika to take over.
The greatest invention of all time.
The greatest invention of all time. Better than bread, penicillin, like anything.
The COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah, the pyramids. It's Mr. Che will actually always be remembered for this. But here it is, giving Maru his runner-up check, $4,000. Very nice for 4 days of work, I would say.
I would agree with that, yeah. And he's got to be happy with his performance. Maru, again, adds to his accolades. Didn't get the championship, but second place finish. Of course, always respectable. He had a great showing of it, and
the greatest GSL player.
Absolutely.
Ever. He's really topped the charts on that, no doubt. And another second place to add to that now. Next up, we will have our CEO, Kevin So, of Afrika TV. I believe he's going to have some words for us. Normally does close out. And here we go. Here he comes, another savior of esports here.
Kevin, you got to witness one of the greatest finals in GSL history today. So you were here at the venue today, watching the games live. I mean, it was fantastic today, to be honest. I mean, the world's best players battled each other today, and they were so good. Going to full series, and we got to witness one of the greatest matches in history. I was watching from the office, and then I came down here to watch it live. So this marks the end of 2021 for GSL. Next year in IEM Katowice, I hope the players perform well. Please look forward to 2022 GSL. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep moving forward. Thank you.
Love to hear it.
Yeah, me too. Another year of GSL ahead of us, guys. Right, time for our champion, the greatest, most winningest player of all time. Yet another championship trophy for him. It's Rogue.
What a path here to the finals as well. Defeating so many great players. Well-earned $8,000. Dragon with his lair adds it to the pile.
It's got that Scrooge McDuck vault, but instead of gold coins, it's gold trophies. Hurts a lot to swim through, but he does it anyways.
Fantastic play. Absolutely incredible. And what a lineup of players he defeated. Dark, Cure, and Maru.
Yeah.
What a run.
That's quite a run. That is, isn't it?
Dark, arguably the second best Zerg in Korea. Cure, the reigning GSL Code S champion, and Maru, the undisputed best Code S player of all time. Fantastic.
Yeah, it was a great tournament, guys. Thank you so much for watching with us here this year in GSL. Of course, State, thank you so much for filling in for Tasteless. Tasteless, of course,
pleasure.
He's off seeing family and visiting home after many years trapped in Korea due to the coronavirus. But it's great to have you here. And look at this. This year, GSL had its 11th year. We truly thank you for continued support and love throughout this year. See you all next year. GSL is coming back.
Can't wait.
Myself, Tasteless, State, we hope to have you back to fill in as well. You did fantastically, I think. Thank you so much for these 4 days. It's been truly pleasurable casting with you.
GSL is my favorite tournament of all time. It's a pleasure to do it.
All right, excellent, guys. Thank you so much once again. Please enjoy the trophy kissing ceremony. We'll see you next year.